Hello, my name is Brandon Wolf. I'm the CEO of Cutting Edge Consulting. And just to give you a quick background, I started in the banking and finance arena as an investment advisor with Mutual of New York back in 1997. Most of my career was spent providing financial services to businesses and business owners. Now I primarily spend most of my time consulting other financial advisors. This ranging from investment strategies to branding, marketing, advertising. Over the last few years, I've been asked by my business owners that I have worked with for years. They've requested advice on banking and finance solutions for their customers with no credit or bad credit. We had a record number of bankruptcies over the last few years, and which closes the door to many families looking for a way to finance payments over an extended period of time. Not long ago, I found the Platnium no credit required cash advance program. It does a fantastic job of increasing revenue for these businesses. The program is up and running with businesses across the nation that are doing anywhere from $10,000 to as much as $50,000 a month in extra business that they normally would have missed out on. And I asked the question, would you invest what amounts to as little over $6 a day to possibly generate an additional $150,000 in revenue? This plan, it offers your customers up to $5,000, and that's no risk to you. And there is no credit required. They are approved on their checking account history rather than their credit profile. The customers can use the program to finance the costs of your products and services today and make payments over an extended period of time. And the best part is that you have absolutely no risk. We guarantee the payments to your business. The full invoiced amount is deposited into your account within 48 to 72 hours after the transaction. So Platnium Finance is being used all over the country with many different businesses. It's huge with auto dealers using it for down payment assistance. In the dental arena, dentists are using it for their implants and then also dentures, which can be expensive. The orthodontics are using it to finance braces for children. Furniture stores use it pretty well. You know, they advertise for no interest or no payments for a year or 6 months. We'll finance it out. That's for individuals with a credit are able to do that. People that do not, they need to find a different avenue. Funeral homes. So it's very high use. Imagine that they are dealing with families that are suffering through tragic loss, and often they don't have the cash or credit to pay the expense of the funeral costs. And as you can imagine, that's going to be financial strain anyway, but perhaps there's life insurance that's going to be utilized, but that could take up to 90 days. If the state goes into probate, they could be looking up to a year for that. Then the construction industry is using it to finance water damage issues, roofs that go out where they've got a leak and it's got to be repaired. They're also financing out remodels over a year to people that ability. What's gaining momentum recently are attorneys and surgeons, and not just for the new business. This product can be used to dramatically reduce accounts receivable and the collections. An example would be if an attorney defended a client for a DUI case or something and agreed to take payments, but that customer wasn't making them on time and it came into the collections area. The program could pay the attorney all of the invoiced amount, and then we would then handle all of the collection efforts with the customer directly. The attorney can move on. This is a program based on turning paper checks into guaranteed checking account debits. And I ask you just to think for a minute, how much revenue are you missing out on in a month because your customers don't have the cash needed to buy it right now? You know, this could give your company an edge over the competition, especially if word travels that you're able to help consumers out with this. As far as the customer requirements, it's very, very simple. To start with, all they need is a valid ID, driver's license, a state ID, passport will work, valid checking account. This is where the approval comes through, is the account needs to be open for at least 120 days. There can't be any bounce checks or NSFs in the last 4 months, and the value in the account needs to at least have the amount to cover the first payment. We've got customer has 3 different plans to choose from. The first is a 90-day plan. Perhaps they're expecting a settlement or a tax refund coming shortly. The warranty rate is 18.95% on this, and it does only require 25% deposit. All 3 plans only require the 25% deposit. Next plan moves it to 6 months, but notice the warranty rate here goes from the 18.9 to 24.9 to split that out over the 6 months. And finally, C, which is the most popular, it pushes the payments out for a year, but it comes at a price of 36.9 for the warranty rate. Again, they all require 25% down at the initial. It's important to understand that this is not the same as APR. That is compounding interest. This is just a warranty rate. So let's break a deal down for you to see how it works for the customer. Let's say that we've got a guy, he wants to get new wheels and tires on his truck, and he's going to need $1,000 to do it. He chooses the 1-year plan to push it out, which puts his warranty rate at the $369.95. Now that's just added to the $1,000 invoice amount. Brings us to the $1,369.95. So 25% of that would be his down payment. So the customer would write the check for $342.48, and that would be paid to the dealership right now. And the remainder would be spread out over 12 months, which would bring his payment to $85.62 a month. So as far as you, the merchant, on which plan works best for you, if you'll notice here, there's 4 different plans. You see a $2,000, a $3,000, $4,000, and a $5,000. What this is the limit of credit that you're allowing your customers to have. So you want to choose where your sweet spot is. If your average ticket is under $2,000, there's no reason to go above that. Because the warranty rate does go up to your customer a bit as you move up in plan. Let's say you're a surgeon and your minimums are around $5,000. That's where you're going to go, but they're going to be paying a little bit more as far as their warranty rate. It doesn't make any difference to you as the merchant. It doesn't change any of your fees. It's simply for the customers there. And also, just throw in there, that $5,000 limit is, there are exceptions to that. If you're like a surgeon, we can take a look at higher amounts as well. Let me have you kind of look at all 4, the cost of them separately. On the 2000 plan, you'll see that the warranty rate is the 31.95, and as you move over to the 3000 plan, you can see that the warranty rate goes up a little bit from coming clear up to the 5000. You're at 37.9 for the 1-year plan, and this is for the 6-month plan and the 90-day plan. So step 1, how does this thing work? The customer's got to provide you with a driver's license, state ID that we covered before. The merchant and the customer, you need to sign the security agreement, and the merchant will receive a special calculator that you'll be able to go through all of these numbers. Your customer can see what it costs them differently as far as a monthly payment, as you're able to use the calculators to show them the difference for the payments. Merchant needs to call in to our center, give some information on the security agreement, and within seconds they will know if their customer is approved or declined. Once they're approved, customer is going to write the check for the deposit dated for that purchase date and amount, and made out to the business. The merchant then will run the check and the security agreement through that check imager, and the terminal prints a receipt, and that's going to need to be signed by the customer, and that gives the processing center the I guess the right to be able to come and debit that account over their 6 is from that moment on, customer's checking account is debited for the deposits and as well as the warranty fee, and they got to pick their amounts, make it 3, 6, or 12. It's spread out. And then finally it's done. The merchant gets 100% of the invoice amount, and that's within 42 to 72 hours, and we deposit it directly into your account. You don't have to wait for a check. So how do we get you as the merchant set up and on board? First thing we're going to need is a bank statement, and we don't need the entire thing. We want the most recent summary page, and they're not looking for necessarily high numbers. They just want to see that the dealership or merchant is stable. We need to, of course, have the tax ID and then the business license from the state for you to conduct business here. We need the driver's license of one of the owners. It can't be a manager. It's got to be one of the partners in the company. We need to get photos from it. The underwriters like to get the warm, fuzzy feelings that they're dealing with real businesses and that it's not being ran out of a chopped shop out in a back alley. So we take areas of the building, of the inventory that you've got. They always like to see the reception area too. We need a copy of the lease agreement, and this is the lease agreement that the business has with the building they stay in. And then we also need to have a voided check with that. And this was from your main checking account that you want your payments to be deposited into for the invoiced amount. And then we just need the signed lease and finance application to be submitted, and that will determine your eligibility. Let's break down what your costs are here. It includes your software maintenance, programming and installation, and the actual check scanner, and the terminal is included, and that's got the software in there as well. Works out to be about $6 a day, so it costs you $194 a month to be active in this program. The lease is for 48 months, and that's for the software license as well. At the end of the lease, you do own the imager and the software. If you want to end the lease early and pay off the remainder, there's no prepayment penalty. Now also make sure that you know that this is tax deductible. It is a true lease. So if you paid taxes last year, the next year this would actually be a full tax credit to you of everything that you spent on this lease. So if you pay taxes, you will have no expenses over the year for this. And being that it is a true lease, that means it can be transferred, it can be sold with the business. So it is an actual, truly full lease. You'll be looking at a $195 setup fee, and they'll want the first and last month lease payment. That's normally between a week to 10 days after everything's installed. And then there's a one-time $40 service fee, and that waives if the program goes onto the at least the $2,000 limit. And then from there on, you just sit back and watch your sales and your revenue climb, and watch the money and angels come from the sky. So once you guys are approved, upon approval, the merchant agreement and lease agreement will be sent to you by email for signature. And once you've signed that, you can either scan it back in and email it back, or feel free to tax it. The equipment will be sent out to you within a few days, and we'll schedule a date for your plug-and-play software to be installed. And it can be done over the phone, but if you're local here, we can come out and get it done for you. So just to recap real quick of what we want to take from this is a no credit check problem. This provides your customers with that cash advance to buy your products or services, allowing them to have it today and then them spread it out over an extended period of time. And there is no credit check at all. It's all based upon their checking account history. Remember that 100% of the invoice goes to the merchant. You don't have to wait for any of that to come through or be good. You get it right up front within just a few days. Customers got payment options, and they get to choose the payment options. They got to choose from the 30-day, the 90-day, the 6-month, and the 12-month, and help them understand that their warranty rate does go up for the longer that they want to push those payments out. And for all three plans, it just needs the 25% deposit down. As far far as the merchant costs, you know, that you're only looking at $195 a month for the 48-month lease, but it includes everything on there, you know. And think again, take a minute to think, how many additional transactions would it take for you to do to cover the amount of that lease payment? And that is only if you didn't pay taxes and don't get that tax credit. And I'd like you just to look and think of how many purchasing opportunities you're missing out on in a month from those buyers who don't have the credit right now to do it. Those numbers alone are disturbing. So this could be a great product for you to use with your business. My name is Brandon Wolf. I am the senior consultant, and feel free to call me directly. You don't even need to go to the front office. I've got my direct line on there. Call me on my mobile. Feel free to send me an email and check us out on our website. If there's any questions later on, I hope to hear from you. Thanks for stopping in, guys, and have a great day.